Salute, salute, salute. The streets are buzzing. Salute, fam. Hope everyone's well. Got plenty to chop up. Let's get into it. We have some news, obviously, that's dropped in the last 10 hours or so, 15 hours. And I salute to Nick Nation out here. We're here ready to chop this thing up because the streets are buzzing. Team no sleep out here. And of course, the news is that the New York Knicks are preparing offers for Donovan Mitchell. Of course, the Utah Jazz, now entertaining offers as dropped by Woj yesterday. And we've got lots to talk about. We're going to talk about impacts to the team. What would you be willing to give up? And in my opinion, I'll give you my thoughts on it all. And I do think that this is Leon's big swing. I just feel it coming. As you see on the screen there, the CAA connections. We've been talking about it forever and a day that the Knicks are calculated. They have their targets. Leon goes after his guys. I do feel like they're definitely going to go hard after Donovan as well. And I do think, as it stands today, the Knicks can put together the best package for Donovan Mitchell. If they so want him, and all reports are it's true, that they do. And as we saw also, Woj initially dropped after previously shutting down inquiries on the moving all-star guard Donovan Mitchell. Rival teams are saying that the Jazz are now showing the willingness to listen on possible trade scenarios. So that kicks in for Leon Rose, kick into action as well. We got picks saved up. The Knicks have young players. So we're going to talk about it. Woj also notes the asking price obviously is going to be steep. That's where we're here to talk about it. The asking price is going to be steep, but can other teams around the league really offer what the Knicks can offer as well? We're going to chop that up. He also says, but in the wake of Utah's recent Rudy Gobert blockbuster to Mini, the Jazz are no longer simply dismissing any call as well. So it's open slather. The Jazz are open for biz. And let's get into it. What everyone's thoughts up in here. That's a tap. Got to see what the package is first. Yep, absolutely right. But the Knicks have the package. That's the thing, right? Leon can go all in. He's collecting these assets for a reason, in my opinion. Prometheus, if he can be had with RJ, get him. Yeah, that's going to be the hot topic tonight. Are people willing to put in RJ? Do you think the Knicks would be willing as well? Let's chop this up. James Lee, salute, fam. What's good? I would trade him for RJ in a heartbeat. However, coexistence with Brunson is my concern. Yeah, that's another huge talking point. Undersized, backcourt, that would be. And, what would happen with that lineup? What would it look like with the 3 spot, James? You have 2 6'1", 6'2" guards with Jalen Brunson up in here. That'd be interesting. You'd need a very solid wing defender. My opinion is RJ is underrated, yes, but he's also overrated by us fans too. I know I will get a lot of hate for saying it, but for him now, what has he shown the last 3 seasons? When Randall was good, he was sort of a good spot-up shooter. Other than that, it's average or below average, for sure. Look, yeah, everyone's entitled to their opinion, certainly, in terms of RJ and the deal, his name's going to have to come up as well. And I would still listen. Absolutely. I'd be willing to listen and depends what package Leon, initially starts the conversations with. But, Danny Ainge is going to bring up RJ Barrett's name. So, there's no ducking that. There's no hiding that. If you want Spider Mitchell, you're probably going to have to part with RJ. Most likely, unless you can maneuver some other package around, and we'll chop up the packages later as well. P, nice, salute, fam, already up in here. Let's get it. Spider's coming, you feel it. Yep, and James Hades finishing gives me massive migraine every single time he misses a layup. Like, he can make contacts, but tilts his body away from the rim and throws a prayer that will never go in. Yeah, a lot of improvements needing to be made with finishing with RJ. Quiet Money, salute. What's good, my guy? I tried to warn y'all about RJ. I was never high on him. He's a good role player at best. So how much is he truly worth? The Knicks have to make that financial decision with RJ Barrett as well. So that's an added element, fam. That's an added element up in this piece. You've got to decide, you've got to pay RJ. Here you are with an all-star, a guy that's already established in Donovan Mitchell. Well, Leon Rose, you've been telling us Too Quiet Money wasn't selecting RJ Barrett, right? RJ Barrett was not Leon Rose's selection as well. There's no reports mentioning RJ Barrett's name. We're just straight into it, not ducking, bringing up the conversation about RJ and what would the deal look like. Salute Still Dre up in this piece. Salute, fam. What's good? And salute to everybody out here. Let's get it. Give everyone a round of applause. Knicks Nation. And early grind. Yep, we're here for real. Give us your thoughts on this situation, fam. How are we going to get this deal done? Salute Darren. What's good, fam? What's good? Donovan Mitchell. You see, Tony Jones is a Utah Jazz longtime beat reporter for The Athletic. He's also a Knicks fan. He's grew up a Knicks fan. He's I believe, from New York originally. Is Tony. So no better guy that's plugged in with this situation. And he says, expect the Knicks to quickly try and put together that package now that it's open business for Donovan, Spider, Mitchell. And according to league sources, yet Utah's bar for trading Mitchell is sky high. But the Knicks are the team that has the assets to make this a conversation. Yep. Damn right they do. As you see on the screen, I feel that Leon will look to go all in on this situation. I feel like this is his guy. It's a legacy situation for Leon. He wants to put his stamp on this organization. He has all the assets. He's been saving up these assets for this reason, right? What is he saving up all these assets for? We don't know when the next guy might become available. I do understand you got to weigh up all the options and, that Knicks fans will no doubt be talking about in the days, weeks to come until the deal will be done. But you're saving up the assets. You're the front office. What is your move? Your move is to save up these assets for a rainy day. And this is that day when a guy like this has become available. Almighty Finesse, salute. What's up? What's good? Still Dre, RJ talk at 7 a.m. is sick. Go back to sleep. And P Nice is saying the deal will get done. Yeah. I'm on the mindset. I agree. Completely agree with my guy P Nice. Just because from a Leon standpoint, again, this is his move. This is a situation where Donovan's available. The Jazz are listening now. The Knicks have that package. Reporters all around the country, all around the world, know that the Knicks have that package. Know that they are that team that seriously wants him. Yep, up in this piece. And what's good? Let us know if the audio, any more audio issues. Menno F, salute fam. What's good? Not trading RJ for Spider. The goal is to get RJ a co-star, not be the Jazz of the East. As well. Yeah, I could certainly understand people's hesitation to part with an RJ as well. I'm a big RJ fan. Would love for RJ to stick around as a New York Knick. Been analyzing this from Leon and the front office perspective. I feel like if Donovan's their guy, then no guy should be off the table. No guy should be off the table if this is if really this is their guy. You obviously start the conversations without RJ, but no doubt I think Danny Ainge and the Utah Jazz are going to ask for Spider. And Fournier says P Nice is Fournier, Obi, and 4 picks for Spider. I think you would probably have to start higher than that. That would probably get the ball rolling, Pudge. I think they're going to use the Rudy Gobert deal as a base package, I feel like. And Menno F says, I don't feel like the Knicks would include RJ in the deal. I don't think they will. I think their aim will be to keep RJ out of the deal, absolutely. But also, we know names will get brought up. and situations, we are back and forth kind of thing. I see the hesitation, like I said. For me, I would go all in still if this is the guy Leon wants to bring in. For the reason is we still have a young core as well. If you include RJ Barrett, then you don't need to include as many more young players as well. And you also would have Donovan Mitchell at his age, Brunson, and a Julius Randle. That's not too old as well. And you'd most likely be able to keep, a Grimes, maybe out of Grimes, Quickly, and Obi, you'd be able to keep 3 of those guys out of the deal. I think Keyshawn, what's good, Geraldine, salute everyone out here, salute D Cool as well. Yep. And it's a serious situation right now with Utah. They're going to be fielding calls. It's going to be a field day now that with Woj reporting as well. They're no longer simply dismissing any calls on Mitchell as well. We knew it was fluff, to be honest with you. Once they traded Rudy Gobert, the only difference is they have leverage. Donovan Mitchell has 4 years on their deal. So, but with a generational draft coming up, 2023, we all know how good this draft is coming up. Then the Jazz really, if their aim is to rebuild, they really want to be bad. Let's be real. They don't want to be half-assing it with Donovan Mitchell and a bunch of ragtag role players. Let's be real, right? If Danny Ainge is smart, he'll do the best deal he possibly can and not drag this thing out. Let teams get into some bidding war and things like that. Roll with Ace, salute. With him and Jalen is no worse than Kemba and Evan defensive-wise. Yep. I don't know if it'd be as bad, but yeah, I definitely hear your point about some concerns defensively as well. Yep, you hit the nail with some concerns. You hit net. That's why I said earlier, you got to look at, defensive help. You need the defensive help. You need to get that 3, a defensive guy at the 3. Quentin Grimes. Hopefully, you'd keep him out of the deal, I think. But look, truth is, stars run the league. I understand New York Knicks Nation. We haven't been in this situation for quite a while since we could have pulled the trigger for Carmelo Anthony. Here we are, find ourselves again with a star on the table now. Thinking about going all in, but the difference is we have a plethora. Our cupboards are full. They're fuller than they've ever been. We have all the picks. We have 11 first-round picks in the next 7 years. 4 of them aren't even our picks as well. So we can make moves. We can make deals happen straight away. We can acquiesce to what Danny Ainge really wants. It's how many young players, how many picks do you want? And I put on the screen too. We also have some stash assets, which does help in a big deal because there's no salary involved. The Knicks have European draft rights to Rocas, like we know, and Sergio Yul, the French player that'll never ever come to the NBA, but it's still handy to have draft rights on a dude as well. So you can make future trades. You know what I mean? Until a player retires, you can still trade that player that you have the rights to, even though that player will never ever come to the NBA. So not only do the Knicks have picks, they have young players, and they have stash assets as well that might be useful for Utah down the line as well. That sounds like the ingredients of a good package to me. Keyshawn on point here. I think they want Mitchell and Zion as well. That'd be going all in. That'd be... Leon's being brave. He's being bold up in this thing. I think they'll start with trying to get Donovan, but Zion re-up. But yeah, the main thing that brings me to this is that I think this is Leon's legacy and his move is CAA. Leon Rose used to run CAA. He is Mr. CAA. He has the connections. He knows what's going on. He knows Donovan, that Donovan's been wanting to be a Knick for a long, long time. He also knows that Donovan's people wanted the Knicks to draft Donovan, back in the day, and it just never happened with this situation. So just like Jalen Brunson, he went out, got his guy, and I feel like this is Leon's next guy. Like this is it for Leon. he doesn't care about 10 years from now. This is his legacy. He's a president of this thing. This is his job to make the Knicks a contender, right? We're saving up these picks for a reason. You try to keep RJ out of the deal, of course, if you can. But for me, push comes to shove, you go all in. If you're me, you figure the rest out later. Because again, you're saving up all these picks for what? Some of them will expire. They will continue to roll on, but then they'll become possibly less and less in value as well. So you're saving up all these picks. We know with Tom Thibodeau here, we're not trying to make these selections as well. Although I was originally from the build slowly mindset, now here we are. We're with Jalen Brunson. We're in a situation where an all-star is available as well, and you got to pull the trigger. You've just got to get that deal done. Menof, how often are players of Spider's caliber available by a trade? Could be years from now. I think the Knicks have to pounce soon. Yep, I think I agree. I agree with Menof with that. Yep, he summed it up. Basically, salute, Pudge, nice, appreciate it. Quiet money. The deal, I believe, will be RJ, Evan, Cam, and 4 firsts and 2 swaps. Should do it with a nice smile from Quiet Money. Yep. I think, like I just summed up before, if you include RJ in the deal, it means you don't have to part with as many young players, of course. And in this deal, you keep Obi and you keep IQ, right? Yes, we lose a beloved RJ. I understand that would hurt Knick fans. I really, really do understand that. But when I said you still have a young core, Donovan Mitchell, 25, Jalen Brunson, 25, you would still have some picks left, and you would still have Obi and IQ and Grimes as well. So you wouldn't fall flat on your face, right? It wouldn't be, it's an all-in move, but it wouldn't be like before, like the cupboards are bare. It wouldn't be like that at all as well. So yeah, it's about trying to still stay flexible. Now, on the flip side, if you don't include RJ, what does a trade look like? It would have to look like Obi, Cam, Grimes, IQ, and more picks as well. And then you get to keep RJ as well. So it's a tough situation no matter what, right? It's going to be a Godfather offer by the Godfather Leon Rose. And it's going to happen. I feel like this is what they're building up for. The whole CAA thing, right? This is the Knicks MO, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just waking up today from a sleep, from 4 years of sleep, or from a rock, the New York Knicks MO is follow the CAA connections at the moment. Leon Rose was brought in as a power agent from CAA, for that reason, to have his connections help bring a star to the Knicks one day. And when can that day be? Well, that day could be getting closer and closer because of Donovan Mitchell, his New York ties, his CAA ties, and he's available now officially by the Utah Jazz, as well as reported by Tony Jones and also Woj as well. Still Dre says, why would the Knicks put a package for Spider if they have Brunson? Well, yep, 2 undersized guys, I understand from that perspective. For that, it's star power. Still Dre. I feel like stars run the league. And like I said, the CAA situation, James Dolan loves box office. He loves big names. This would put bums on seats. This would sell popcorn. It would sell jerseys. I mean, this would elevate the Knicks from the most valued franchise to even more the most valued franchise. Salute New Yorker. What's good? 5 picks, Cam and Fournier. Take it or leave it. 5 picks, Cam and Fournier. Take it or leave it. I think the 5 picks is around close to where they'd settle on. Cam and Fournier, they might ask for more. They probably will ask for more, and they might ask for some pick swaps as well. New Yorker, I feel like they might ask for some pick swaps. And Quiet Money says, get RJ a co-star. When has RJ become a star as well? Yeah, look, we love our players so much. We do overrate them a bit. Not that I don't think RJ has a bright future. He does. I think he is underrated in some aspects. Well, but yeah, he's certainly no star at the moment. But again, like I preface, if you can keep RJ out of the deal, I will try my very, very best to keep RJ Barrett out of this deal. But I'm just trying to see the writing on the wall. Is that most likely, if a deal's to be done, RJ Barrett would have to be included, or it would have to be way more extra picks and also more young players, so that your depth is even gutted even more. The Obi, IQ, Grimes, Cam, they're going to ask for everybody else, basically. And Geraldine says facts for quiet, and also still Dre facts. Yeah. D Cool says, if Fournier and Grimes are still going to be here, what sense does it make to bring in Donovan Mitchell? If Fournier and Grimes are still going to be here, yeah, what sense does it make? Well, yeah, Donovan would start, and it would just mean Fournier and Grimes would be situational or backups, and probably in a future trade. But yeah, probably their days are numbered as well. Maybe not Grimes, obviously, but Fournier, absolutely. And Black University, salute, salute, salute. What's good? What's good? Yep. Streets are buzzing at the moment, fam. This deal, this talk, I feel like it's going to happen. I don't know how soon. Talks could drag on, of course. But put simply, like Tony Jones is spelling out, this is a Knick fan and also the Utah Jazz beat writer. And he's connected with this thing. And he says the Knicks are the team that has the assets to make this a conversation, right? We know it's going to be a Godfather offer. And Danny Ainge isn't going to trade Donovan until he's happy with the deal, right? So you got to make the man happy. We ain't playing games out here. This is poker. The dude with the best hand's going to win. And Leon Rose, this is his legacy. This is his move as a president of the New York Knicks. All the picks he saved up, all the flexibility and all the depth we have. We keep talking about all this depth, this beautiful depth here, this young core. Yeah, how are we going to realistically re-sign all these guys? And how many of all these guys on the screen are going to be around for their second, third rookie deal? Second, third contracts was what I meant. It's going to be tough to keep all these guys around and to keep saving all these picks as well. So at the end of the day, it makes sense to me. If this is the move they're doing, they're going all in. They're trying to make this situation and go all in the East and be a beast. Yeah. Spider at home living it up. Yeah. He's been hanging out with Quick too. You guys have been peeping out. They've probably been having chats and talks about this thing. IQ and Spider, right? They're buds now. And Quite says RJ wasn't even offered an extension while everyone else in his draft class has already been re-signed as well. Yep. MenOF, when RJ was given the keys, he averaged 24, 6'4" after the new year. And as a 21-year-old, RJ is a rising star. Yep, in this league. Yep. You gotta unfortunately use your best chip in a deal like this more often than not around the league, right? Like I said, Danny Ainge has been doing this for years, and he knows how to play poker. He's going to ask for RJ Barrett. If you're a rebuilding Utah Jazz, you're going to want the best option from the other team, and that is RJ Barrett. But if RJ is in the deal, then I feel like it gives the Knicks a chance to hold on to some other pieces as well. So it's kind of it's bittersweet is the way I would describe it, right? It's going to suck losing a young player we like, but it's a sacrifice you're going to have to do business in the NBA. Oh, with a salute out here. Salute, fam. What's good? And, yep, CAA boss, facts. The off-season isn't even over yet. Who says he won't get an extension before the season starts? Yep, it's a fair point, MenOF. Yep, agree with that. Yeah, RJ's extension is going to come if he's with the Knicks, but I think Quiet Money was just saying he hasn't been offered an extension as yet. And Dre says the media might be baiting Leon to make a bad move here. Knicks are better off keeping all their players. Well, yep. And that's the other side of this situation and this conversation that I completely understand. I'm not all hell-bent on just giving up everything. I'm just looking at it from the perspective of Leon and the front office and wanting to make that splash. As a fan, I love all our young players, and I still hope for that future where they become stars here as well. But in just saying that, we have an opportunity to bring in a star who's already a star as well. So at the end of the day, it makes more sense to me to go all in, because you get a sure thing in Donovan. He's in a prime age. He can really change this franchise with current young pieces already here, with flexibility and some room to maneuver as well. But yeah, you're right in terms of that. The media could be leaking this stuff out. Yep. Keyshawn, facts, people was really sleeping on this front office. Well, yeah, well, their work's not done, fam. At the end of the day, yeah, they're still doing work, still putting in work with this thing, right? I feel like this is just second gear that we're in, right? We're only really in a third year of a rebuild or of a situation that they took over as well. Yeah, and Roll says, yeah, which is why we need more 3-and-D. Yeah, you hit that. Yep. With that situation, if we're a small backcourt, we need the D as well. We need a 3-and-D guy. I hope we could keep Grimes out the deal as well. If not, Cam Reddish. Maybe they're not even high on Cam Reddish. Possibility as well. Quiet says we got to stop with the nonsense. Mitchell's backcourt mate was Mike Conley, and they were just fine and title contending as well. So yeah, fair points as well from Quiet. Yep, on point. Give him his props. Yep. With that said, I'm all about you get the star and you figure the rest out later. Fans want to talk about, oh, what does it mean if we get Donovan? Then we're stuck with this. No, we're not stuck with that. It's get Donovan first, then figure it out, then get more players, sign players. We still have second round picks. You can still draft young players still. With Donovan and Brunson, it's 25 years old. You're not crippled by a 34-year-old KD with a 3-year window. It's kind of like, Donovan and Brunson haven't even entered their primes yet at 25 years of age. Yep, 25 years of age. So you got to think about that, right? There could be New York Knicks in their prime for 8 years, like an 8-year kind of run with this thing. And salute out here, salute to the best chat in the biz. Geraldine says, so we get him, we're going to win a chip, right? Yeah, it's going to be take the next steps. Just take it a day as it comes. Try to keep building chemistry, win more games, of course. Tom Thibodeau would probably be the right coach for this situation with the veterans and preaching D as well. So yeah, the situation. Look, it's a sliding doors moment for this franchise. I will say that. If we pull off this move soon and before this season, it's not something I expected to happen this fast. But I knew the day was coming. I knew the day was coming for the New York Knicks. They've been saving these picks. It's the worst kept secret around the league. Everyone's been humming, saying, what is the Knicks' next move? Everyone's waiting and waiting. Well, this is it. This is it. Salute Lyndon. What's good? And Quiet says people forget Tibbs ain't no spring chicken either. They need to move now. Yep, completely on point. That you hit nothing but net. Yep, like I said, yeah, Tibbs is probably the guy in the driver's seat pushing this thing forward as well as Leon. Yeah, Y'all always in a rush, says Lyndon. Yep, and RJ staying. Yep, Nelson, what's good? Salute. Would hate to lose RJ, IQ, Obi, or Grimes. Yep. I feel like you could probably split RJ on one side, Obi, IQ, and Grimes on the other side. If you don't want to part with RJ, you would have to part with the other three. If you're okay parting with RJ, you might be able to keep the other three or two of the other three. So yeah, I feel you. It's tough. And salute Jerry. What's good? Quite, yeah, the writing's always been on the wall. Yep, I go back to CAA as well. And Adali, salute. What's good? Donovan is a star. Jalen is not, and he's also a shooting guard. So it's not like they both can't play together. Yep. Yep. You hit with that. Absolutely agree. Right. Look, Donovan's a stocky guy. I know he's short, but he's got a 6'11" wingspan. We keep forgetting that, fam. He's called Spider for a reason as well. He can play bigger than his height as well. And Brunson's stocky too, so he's a mismatch for point guards as well. He knows how to manipulate his size, get fouls, get into the paint, all of that stuff, right? I feel like those two would still work, but you would need a solid 3-and-D wing at the 3 spot with length as well. Yeah, it's a switchable league. Jericho Sims can switch out on the perimeter as well. I hope we keep Sims. I hope we keep him. He's just one name I really want to keep around as well. New Yorker, let's just draft a star with all picks in 2023. Yep. That is my other preference too. Like I've been on record saying many times, I'm okay with a slower build and using all our picks to draft, but they threw my plan out the window 1 month ago. It seems, less than a month ago, they threw that plan that I had out the window when they punted on the 11th pick and got Jalen Brunson. I really, really, really wanted us to build through the draft, but I just don't think it's happening. I had to let go of that dream right now. This is the new reality now, a sliding doors moment for this front office, this organization. And Menno says we don't pick high enough in the draft to draft a star, though. Maybe we can trade up next year here, 1 point. Yep. Yeah, exactly right. We never end up high enough. Salute Tay. What's good? What's your thoughts on this situation? And a Keyshawn, it's Ainge v Rose. Who is going to blink? Right. Yep. It's a game of chicken. No, I actually think Rose is sitting pretty because we could just sit back and I know that no team in the league can really offer a better package. As you see, the second tweet from Tony Jones here on the screen, somebody's saying, I simply don't see Miami even really entering the conversation for him. They just don't have the assets. And Tony says they would almost certainly have to bring in another team. Yep, have to agree with him. I mean, who can they offer? Yeah, Tyler Hero, someone else. Did they want to part with Bam Adebayo? I don't know. But they certainly don't have the picks we do. We have 4 picks to throw in the pot, and they're not even our picks. That's not even starting with the Knicks picks as well. So, with that said, Leon he's playing poker, but he's got a royal flush, I think. In terms of what Danny Ainge really, really wants, we saw the Rudy Gobert Godfather offer, 5 firsts and a couple of role players as well. Well, the Knicks could outbid that in the blink of an eye. They could put all their chips in the middle and outbid that as well. White Falcon, what's good? And what other teams can make a better offer than us? I feel like Miami's offer of Hero and picks is overrated. Yep. Took the words out of my mouth, like I just said. Because, everyone talks about Miami because it's just Miami. The truth is, I'd hang up if I was Danny Ainge. Like, pretend you're running Utah, right? Donovan Mitchell is your savior, right? He's about to jump ship, right? You're going to go down with that ship. You're going to want every single asset and bleed the other team dry, right? Before you let Spider Mitchell hop on that jet to New York, right? You're going to want picks, swaps, like I said, future stashes, Rocasses, rights to 38-year-old Sergio Yul in Spain. You're going to want every single pick, young player you can. Miami just can't do that, right? They just can't do that. And IQ in that Spider's crib. Oh, yeah. I've been seeing it, right? Those guys have been more chummy, right, on socials. Darley says, honestly, I would do Fournier, Deuce, Cam, 4 first-round picks and 3 seconds as well. Yep, P nice. Bump that. Yep. Well, Fournier, Deuce, Cam, 4 first-round picks. Yeah, I think the the picks and the players sounds good. I think they would probably ask for one of IQ and Deuce, one of IQ or Obi to be thrown in as well. If it's not RJ, they're definitely going to want Obi and IQ as well as a starting point. Geraldine, what's good? This trade doesn't make sense. I can see if he's that one piece to get us to the chip, which it's not as well. Yeah, look, chips aren't just won overnight, I would say, Geraldine. I could see fans' trepidation. I really can with that situation. It's like, what's next after this big move? But like I said, going all in for Donovan, we would still have young players and assets still available. It wouldn't be the be-all or end-all. 25 years of age, Brunson 25, Randall not even 28. It would give us a lot of flexibility. Might not get us to the chip straight away, but it'll get us closer. If you're the president, your job's on the line. You've got to make some moves. Like Leon Rose, World Wide West, they were not brought in to just keep kicking the can down the road. When the Knicks signed them, and James Dolan gave them the bread, most of the NBA fraternity knew that they were going to use or leverage their connections, to try to get somebody. And I feel like that's just what they're trying to do. Geraldine says IQ, Grimes, Deuce, Obi, Cam, and 2 seconds. Yep. See, that's getting closer. Yep, that's getting closer. Yep, you're putting in more young players. You got IQ, Obi, of course, and Grimes. That hurts. Deuce, Cam, and 2 seconds. Yep. They might want a few first with that as well. Quiet says, how can we be better off not making a move when we didn't even make the playoffs last year as well? Yep. For some of the slower build fam. Yeah, we need an OG and an Obi, like Keyshawn says. Yep, a guy with size, length, defensive prowess, just someone that can hold this ship down with an undersized front court. Yep, if that happens. And what rebuild when they hired Tibbs, that went out the window. Yeah, facts, Geraldine, like we've been saying. Right. My hope was to rebuild through the draft. Like, I'm patient as a fan because I wanted to build a sustainable winner, like sustainable winning, playoffs every year, competing. But like you said, that went out the window. On draft night, it was like a sliding doors moment. They threw my plan out the window, and the 11th pick, they turned that into Jalen Brunson. So it's like we pivot. We pivot to the next thing. And Spider and IQ, yep. IQ still off the bench with D Rose, Brunson and Spider starting as well. And that's one smaller advantage. If you throw RJ in the deal, you're most likely able to keep IQ out of the deal. Well, that has to make you think twice about it too. It's like you don't put RJ in and you got to throw all the other young players. If you put RJ in, you might be able to keep some of the other young players and keep a little bit more flexibility as well. And bearing in mind, RJ is about to be due to be paid the bag as well. So that's another pause for concern. And Menno says, if Spider comes, hopefully JB is promoted to head coach as well. I feel like Tibbs would stick around a bit, but I like what you did there. Yep. Julius H. Peace, what's good? According to Brian Windhorst, the Jazz don't want a star player. They just want picks, says Ron. Yep. Yeah, I like that, Ron, as well. Yep. They're really not looking to win no games, fam. They want to lose. They want to get a great selection in this generational draft coming up in 2023 as well. So yeah, part of their reason why I think they're fast-tracked this Donovan trade is because of this reason. They want to be bad this year. Like I said, there's no point being 7th, 8th, 9th in the West with Donovan Mitchell and a ragtag of role players, right? Make that move now, put a little bidding, get Woj to get a little bidding war happening, then get the New York Knicks to pony up and make it happen. To make a move like that, we better win a chip ASAP, right? Yep. Don't worry, we'll definitely be closer. That's what Madison Square Garden crowd would be sounding like in round 2 of the playoffs. And, Bagger Jones, what's good? Salute. Why would Ainge take RJ when he will become a free agent after next season? Even though they will still have his rights, RJ don't have to sign the offer sheet to stay with them. Well, that is a good point. I think although the trend is most players will take the secured money, you know, the 5-year max extension or whatever it might be. But maybe you're onto something. That might be a reason why we might be able to keep a hold of RJ. Maybe Ainge just isn't interested. You know, maybe he isn't interested in RJ for that reason, financially. Yep. I'm loving this buzz, right? You guys are on fire. My guys, salute. Yep, what's good? I really hot hoop. Brunson Mitchell, smallest backcourt of all time. Yeah, 6'1", 6'1". But yeah, like I said, Donovan got 6'11" wingspan, the spider. Well, he jumps like Spider-Man, and I think the Knicks would figure out the way. Yeah, he wouldn't look pretty defensively in the beginning. You know, again, we'd need a great defensive wing to do that. But I think Donovan can play bigger than his size, than what his size is with the 6'11" wingspan as well. Yeah, he's managed to play the 2 for the Jazz all this time, and Brunson's managed to play the 1. Yep. Mano says, hopefully Spider can be a serviceable defender again if he doesn't have to carry the load on offense that he did in Utah. Well, great points. Great point with that. Yep. And look, motivation speaks wonders, right? How many people are motivated to win in Utah? You know, with that situation, he just didn't get along with Rudy, right? Yep. Brunson up in here for number 11 as well. Yep. Small backcourt. We touched on that. That's a legit concern as well. Yep. That's going to be raised, continue to be raised. And something the front office will be considering, of course. But again, their job's on the line. I talked about the CAA connections, fam, and the situation where the Knicks, you know, have all these assets saved up for what? You know, there's no guarantee in life. There's no guarantee in the NBA that the next guy is going to be available anytime soon as well. Zion signed for the bag. Luka's locked up. You know, Booker's locked up. Carl Towns is locked up. Now with Mini looking strong, it's like, you know, who's the next thing? You know, we kick the can down the road for 3, 4, 5 more years, and then you're wasting also years of what we got as well. Yep. And as quiet money hits on this is the proverbial crossroads for this franchise, right? No lies with that. Yep. And they know this too. What they did on draft night could actually become stroke of genius, because not only did they turn the 11th pick into Jalen Brunson, but then they got those 3 future picks, which, yeah, we know aren't that worth that much. But if you offload those picks to help you get Donovan, then you're really cooking with the 11th selection, you know, helping turn that into Jalen Brunson and parts of a Spider Mitchell package as well. So, yeah, Leon's doing some work. And he ain't finished yet in terms of evaluating. And I taste the D cooking. I don't see any scenario where Utah wouldn't want Barrett and Obi in return. Yep. We're talking about Danny Ainge, fam. Yep. But with that said, what you said, it would be RJ, Obi, and that's it for young players. It'd be the rest picks. It would not give him anything more than maybe Deuce, Rokas, you know, Cam Reddish or Farron Hunt. You know, no one like IQ or Grimes. Yeah, there's only so many young players. This is what I would say to Ainge. I would say it's Barrett and more picks, or if you don't want Barrett, we'll give you some more young players and some picks. Well, but you can't have it all, because truth is, yeah, no one around the league is giving them the package the better than the Knicks have got. We're talking 11 first-round selections in 7 years, right? We could give them 8 firsts, 4 of them not even our own, and pick swaps if we want. as well. That'll have Ainge salivating right now. And Geraldine says, "Buy IQ, Obi, Grimes, Cam. The Knicks will sell their souls just to get somebody else's player a start." Keeping it a buck, really, really, that is true as well. But look, I said it's steps. It's steps to winning a championship, right? It doesn't happen overnight. You need to get stars in here. Role players can be found in the second round, truth be told, We found Jericho Sims in the second round. Grimes was almost slipped to the second round. We see teams buy second round picks for 3 mil every year. So it wouldn't be doomsday. It would certainly be up from here. And salute John. What's good? What's good? And Darley's on point here. Smallest backcourt ever. Van Vliet and Lowry won a chip. They're both tiny. Yep, nothing more to be said with that one. And New Yorker says nobody can offer more picks like us. Yep, exactly. That's what we've been saying. Leon knows this. We got pick swaps. We got other people's picks. We got more picks coming. What are we going to be doing with all these picks? We're drowning in them. We're drowning in picks at the moment. And this is what it's all been for. It's been building up and building up. And a star's finally available now. He's a New Yorker. His people around him were upset the Knicks didn't draft him. They wanted the Knicks to draft him. There's reports Phil Jackson liked him, but was swayed by his closest advisor, Clarence Gaines, to select Frank Ntilikina. The rest is history now. And Brunson had Knick ties. He wanted to come home. Donovan Mitchell has Knick ties. This could be writing on the wall right now. And yet, Kareem, salute, streets are buzzing. And Bagger Jones, yep, to quiet money, yes, he can, but no player of value don't want to stay in Utah. As well, RJ grew up in big and lavish places like Canada, plays in New York. I don't see RJ would sign back with the Jazz as well. That's some fair points too. I think RJ loves a challenge. I could actually see him trying to steer a franchise and try to bring winning a chip to a franchise as well. He doesn't strike me as the dude that just wants to go to a glamour location. But yeah, I could be wrong. It's tough. Like I understand any player that would want to play in Utah. And John says we need Donovan to say trade me to the Knicks. That's the only team I'll play for. That would bring the price down. Yeah, I completely agree. Unfortunately, Donovan's not that kind of guy. There are certain people around the league that go that way. There are certain people that don't. But Donovan, rest assured, he's saying that through subliminals, and he said it through the agent, CAA, Woj. This NBA circle is small, and we saw so many shots of summer league with Woj, mingling with execs and all that. That's when all this stuff gets out there as well. So yeah, I feel like they're leaking all that out. But Ainge is so respected around the league too that they all know that Danny Ainge is going to get what he wants. Leon will get what he wants, and both sides will be happy, I feel. And our role says people are worrying about having two small guards in the backcourt, but yet a lot of teams are starting to play small ball a lot. Yep, that's exactly true, right? It's adapt to me, adapt to me and not other teams as well. Yeah, everyone's going small. And I taste the D cooking. Randall, Cam, Grimes, Deuce, and 4 first rounders. I do immediately. Yeah, look, if you talk about Randall, which we haven't actually mentioned in any package, certainly Randall would add more value to the package. I just feel like Utah might not have that use for Randall at the moment. They want young players with star upside and then picks as well. And I think the Knicks are more likely wanting to hang on to Randall to keep it real. I think they need that guy around his age when you're trying to contend and trying to compete as well. But of course, what would that mean for Obi? because you make this big Godfather deal to get Mitchell in, you can't have Randall and Obi. Still, you can't have that headache anymore, right? You need one of their value to bring this package down a bit. And Bagger says, I can see Dolan making the deal with RJ, giving him money under the table to go to Utah and then come back with the Knicks later. Yeah, no lies there. Yeah. People are worrying about having two small guards. Yet a lot of teams are starting to play small. The Knicks would have options to switch up size-wise. Yeah, there's always options. Like I said, this wouldn't be like the Carmelo thing where our cupboards were bare. We're in a unique situation. We have 4 firsts that aren't even our own. We have our own. We have pick swaps. We have so many young players in this list you see as well. We wouldn't have to package all of these. We would be able to keep some of these young kids and hopefully develop them, like the Sims, Hartenstein. Maybe Rokas stays and he comes over in 2 years. Maybe we keep Mitch out of the deal, of course, Cam out the deal. So that gives us some young talent to still keep around and to still build. So that makes this situation completely different, I think, to any years past. And if I'm wrong, then let me know and explain your point of view. And still Knicks fans in the house, salute what's good. The only that Miami has is connections. Yep, they can get another team involved to make things happen. Yeah, Riley, right? Yeah, good point. He's a snake with that. Is Riley. Yep, Pat Riley always trying to use his connections to get things happening. Jay Dragon, what's good? Salute. If Sims is traded after 60 years as a Knicks fan, you can count me out. Jay Dragon, I know you're upset, but yeah, we'll fish you back out. And but yeah, Sims is a great young piece. A lot of people high on him. Well, but that's my point that I'm trying to make too. The Knicks can buy second round picks in the future too. 58th pick from Sims. We saw LA buy the 35th pick to get Christie. That only cost them $3 million. James Dolan's always going to be willing to spend money to get picks in the future as well. So yeah, even if we did have to part with Sims or other young assets, I think we'd still have plenty of young chips and pieces, opportunity to keep building as well. And Ron says a lot of people have suggested the Brooklyn Nets might be a willing trade partner. Yeah, that's another huge domino as well. That's a whole nother topic that we could talk about with KD. Brooklyn don't want DeAndre Ayton. Looks like Kyrie's going to end up with the Lakers as well. So that's free agency is still buzzing, and it doesn't show any signs of slowing down. Yep. And Kaiser says, does Donovan guarantee relevance or a 2-4 seed in the playoffs? Yep. I don't think, there's no guarantees in this thing, fam. Absolutely no guarantee. He guarantees relevance. Yep. Yeah, he guarantees the relevant side of things. But in terms of where we finish, I would like to hope it would be up there as well. But yeah, pieces got to fit. Things take time to gel, and all of that stuff. Brooklyn, what's good? I want no parts of the Mitchell trade as well. Yep. So this is a case for against it completely as well. Yep. Respect your opinion and understand. Sometimes it's just not the thing for people. For me, I still see the upside in going all in with Donovan. Like I explained, I see the opportunities for us to be relevant and to keep building with a core that's really young, 25 years of age and less. And yeah, the Jazz looks like they don't want to add salary. They are rebuilding as well. So that's giving a point of view from this perspective, like Quiet saying as well. So yeah, maybe they don't want to take back Randall. Maybe they don't even want to take RJ. Dudes like Obi and IQ would be sexy to Ainge because they're only in the middle of their rookie deal. Still got 2-3 years of cost control as well for a team that wants to be bad and not spend too much salary as well. So yeah, maybe we're looking at an Obi, IQ, Cam, Grimes, and heaps of picks. Maybe Knicks fans, we could keep RJ out the deal due to the finances. RC Creative says, Knicks get Mitchell, you would have to build around him like Miami built around D Wade. Put defensive role players around Mitchell. Yep. Yeah, I was thinking that too today. The PJ Tuckers, Lou Dort's, yeah, defensive specialists. Yep, exactly like you spelt out, right? Yep. You've got to mold the roster first, but first you've got to get the star. You've got to get a star first. Then you can talk about building and molding it around them as well. The hardest thing to get is the star, which is why I'm saying, you save up all these picks, you save up all these assets, you've got to swing at some point when the iron's hot. Yep, like Kaiser says, also starting the 2-6-1 guards means we can't guard no one. It'd be tough. I think there's ways, but yeah, I still think that wouldn't deter me personally from pulling off the deal. Our defense ain't great the way it is. I think we'd still be able to make do. I think Donovan's a much better defender than what we've seen in Utah. And it tasted the cooking. Brunson, Donovan, RJ, Obi, Mitch with Quick off the bench. I'm all in. Any other scenario, I'm really not interested. Yep, I could see that. You got all the young players still there with Quick off the bench. Yeah, it's going to be tough. Yeah, but look, all the players we love and all the players we hope to keep out of the deal are going to be the players that Danny Ainge wants in the deal. So I'm just trying to prepare some Knick fans, if and when this deal goes through eventually. I believe it will, because I think Leon gets his guy. I think he's got no limit. He's willing to just do whatever it takes to get this done, right? That's his legacy, I feel, as a president. Man, the man did not give up being the head of CAA just to be a prez that kicks the can down the road. No, no, no. That's not what he signed up for as well. This is what he signed up for, to make that splash. And Brooklyn says they turned the 11th pick into Jalen Brunson and 3 firsts. No lies. They're spelling that out. And look, that tree to that branch could continue to grow. Right. Those 3 firsts could help get Donovan. So it could be the 11th pick, some young players and some other picks helped you get Jalen Brunson and Donovan Mitchell, quite possibly. So we all laughed at it at the time. I was disappointed that night, I'm not going to lie. But sometimes you've got to save your judgment, until things make more sense. And Menno says, how much playing time would we realistically get playing Brunson and Spider? Yep. IQ, yeah, that's true. You wouldn't get too much time in the first place, but still good to have as a young player off the bench, that 6-man role. Juju 92 up in the house. Salute. What's good? Would you rather give up Obi and Grimes or Cam and Quickly? I'd rather give up Cam and Quickly, me personally. Tough question though. That's a tough question. I want to hear everyone else answer that. But yeah, to me, together, the combination of Obi and Grimes, I really like those guys. I love IQ and I love Cam, but the combination of Obi and Grimes does it for me with that one. Kaiser says Donovan doesn't make no sense. The Knicks better than the top 4 in the East. Doesn't make the Knicks better than the top 4. I see a first round exit because we can't defend with that backcourt. So yeah, that well might cap us out. If that might be true. Yeah, it's hard to predict. Absolutely, I hear your points with that. Jay Dragon says, "What's up with Knicks fans in Cam? Has he proved nothing but really being an injury liability? It's the potential, fam. It's the flashes, and real argument is he didn't get a chance yet. I'm all for a player getting a chance. Jay Dragon too, and we traded for him, and Tibbs didn't play him, so I feel like let's see what he got if he's still around, and then we can evaluate. Knicks do Knicks things. Where would Mitchell get us? What did he win? Yep. Frank Sound, salute in the house. What did he win? Yet? Well, he's got the Jazz relevant. He got him to the playoffs every single year he's been in the league. The West is tough. The West is tough out there as well. But I hear you. You know, it's not a move that's going to get us to a championship immediately. I think it's a step to getting closer, though. I feel like it's a step to getting closer. And my counter as well is, if you don't want to give up all these young players and assets to it, which player do you eventually want to do that for? What do you think the Knicks are doing with all these picks? Do you think they're saving them more for something else? There's got to be some kind of a method to this madness, an end goal at the end of the day. We have 11 first round picks in 7 years, and we already have all these young players here on the screen that we can't even give minutes to as it is. All these young players right now won't get minutes this year, and then we're going to draft 11 more players in the next 7 years. So the time's going to come when we have to give away all these assets for something. Now, it may not work, it may not get us to a chip, but we're going to have to give it up for something, right? We can't just sleep every night next to these picks, hoping it's going to win us something one day as well. Geraldine says, we make that trade, who's left? The Jazz will only want our young players. Evan and Randall will not be part of the package yet. Your money, I don't think they want to take on the money as well with that sound. D Gone, salute, what's good? You're right about RJ. Package him immediately. He's ready to ship RJ out of here, ready to get D Mitchell up in here. Well, Nick fans, some want to go all in, some want to keep building slow. I wanted to keep building slow. I still do, really. But Leon threw my plan. He scrunched it up, lighted it up with a match, and then threw it out the window. With that situation, we're looking to a different path now, unless Leon gets fired. And any move, including RJ to Utah, would include sign and trade. They aren't that stupid. So would include sign and trades, okay? Like undesirable salaries, things like that. Maybe, yeah. But I think, yeah, Leon would heavily push against that, unless it was a vet that would maybe help us win. Clarkson maybe, or some other veterans they got. And JJ, I don't mind RJ leaving. I don't believe he's going to be the next star the Knicks fans expect him to be. Yeah, look, I understand that we need to see a big year from RJ as well. I'm still very high on RJ. I still think he's a building block for us. We don't know his role. He might cap out at the third best team on a winning team, but he is an asset for us. Yeah, and like he also saying, like we said earlier, is Mike Conley 6'1", and the Jazz did win a lot of games for years. Yep. The thing towards that is Conley is a great defender as well, even at a smaller size. And Tay, if the Heat can win the East with Butler, Adebayo, Hero, then we could win it with Jalen, Mitch, RJ, Obi, or Randall. We're not tanking anytime soon with the picks. We'll be mid-rounders. I'll do it if we can keep RJ. Yep. Keeping that a buck, Tay. Yep, completely understand. The games need to be played still. The Knicks would have young players that have a future in terms of a longer window to do this thing as well. That's huge. And a Jimmy Walker salute, what's good? I don't believe in giving up 5 or 6 first round draft picks with 2 or 3 core starting players for one player. Well, yep, that's very, very sensible. Yep. I don't believe in giving up 5 or 6 first round picks, as well as 2 or 3 core starting players just for the one player. Yep. That Rudy Gobert deal just changed the landscape for me with that what Mini got. And I think secretly a lot of teams around the league are pissed off with that, right? What Minnesota paid is what Minnesota wanted to pay. That's up to them. But that messed with the whole currency around the league. Like, that's the reason why Brooklyn can't trade KD right now for keeping it a buck, because no one wants to give up that much more. You know what I mean? And also, Ainge can ask whatever he wants, but no team's going to probably offer what the Knicks can offer. So, Shah Gunner, salute. Once we get Spider Brunson, days are number, because Donovan averaged 25 points, 10 this year. He's a playmaker. Well, yep, 10 assists this year. He's a playmaker. as well. Once we get Spider, Brunson, yep, yeah, on point. And J Dragon, what good is a 25 point per game when the man you are guarding scores the same? Fire Tibbs and hire Spree. You've been on point with that J Dragon. You want Tibbs out of here as well. You want Spree up in here as well. Leon will not trade Obi to Quiet. That's a good point. Look, I think, yeah, basically Leon would chip anyone out Quiet. I think this is his guy, Donovan. I think big splash, CAA. I mean, what's better than Leon getting a star for New York? Makes himself look good in front of his boss, James Dolan. He gets CAA guys paid. You know, he's secretly still working for CAA as the prez, and he keeps his job safe. Well, it's like a hit home run for Leon with this thing, right? He's killing 4 birds with one stone. You know, like I said, getting CAA paid, making himself look good, getting the Knicks better, and also keeping his job safe as well. Geraldine says to get you have to give, and the Knicks will sell their souls for another team player. Yeah, facts. And Leon would probably sell his soul in terms of what you say. Leon, I don't know about the Knicks, but yeah, they got to get things done, like Geraldine says. Shargunner, do you ever do StreamYard? It would be awesome to chop it up. Appreciate you, Shargunner. Yep. Yeah, certainly looking at options and other things coming up. Stay tuned with that thing. P Nice is Obi gone. Yep. Yep. I think Ainge would want a player like that. Like I said, if I'm the other GM, what's sexy to me is a dude on a rookie contract still. Don't have to make no financial decisions. Can still ball out for me. Keep the fan base hopes alive in Utah. Something they can get behind, buy jerseys. He could be the face of the franchise still. Obi and IQ would be, in Danny Ainge's eyes, would be lit for Utah. You know, they'd be the new faces for them. Kaiser says that's a horrible deal as well. Don't give up too many picks to not win the chip as well. Yep. Who's the guy you want to go all in for as well? Anyone out here, let us know. If this ain't the deal, I completely understand. I understand people don't want to give up too much and the concerns with Spider. But tell me, who is the dude you think the Knicks should target after this? Who do you think's realistic? Or are you happy to just do the slow build and still hoping that the Knicks will do that? And Mike, what's good? This does not make any sense whatsoever. Why give up RJ and players like Obi, Toppin, and just to get Donovan Mitchell? I believe RJ and Obi will be Donovan Mitchell, and Obi Toppin will be Donovan Mitchell and play. Yeah. So you're saying it doesn't make sense whatsoever. Why give up RJ and players like Obi just to get Donovan? Yep. That was what I was saying a bit earlier as well. If I give up RJ, I'm very, very hesitant to give up anything else as well. Yeah, it'd be RJ and heaps of picks, or you keep RJ and it'd be more role players and more picks as well to keep him out the deal. But yeah, this could be ongoing conversations to be had over the next week or so longer. But it's getting closer to being a realistic thing. Basically, I think this is going to happen at some point. I'm not sure how soon, but I think eventually Leon's just going to put the Godfather offer. The Godfather's going to do it. And I think he wants his guy, Leon, for the connections, the reason he's been saving these assets up. Madison Square Garden, box office. James Dolan wants to sell seats. He wants to be relevant again, missing the playoffs and all of that. And Mike says if they got 4 first rounders and some solid young players for Gobert, imagine what they're going to be asking for Mitchell. Yeah, they're going to be asking for a lot, too much as well. But Leon Rose is probably going to do it, Mike. Yeah, going back to that situation, the Gobert deal was absolutely insane, fam. Absolutely insane. in the membrane with that, that caused reverberations around the league. That got people pissed off, really. Who trades 5 first-round picks for Rudy Gobert, and players? I mean, if KD was traded for 5 first-rounders, people would have been like, "Oh, yeah, okay, that's a fair deal." But instead, Rudy Gobert. Now, KD can't be traded anymore because no one wants to pony up anything right now. It's insane. Mike says New York media and fans are ridiculous, jealous. They use them all the time. Jimmy says, "Why do you think Danny is going to play fair with the Knicks?" No, he's not going to play fair at all. Right? He's going to bleed any team, not just the Knicks, but yeah. Um, he could have worked with Woj to leak this out. Nobody really knows. Maybe Hank getting the deals or the offers he's happy with, and he says, "Hey, Woj, I need you to put this out there for me. I need to up the bidding war with this thing." Can you imagine the Knicks trying to guard a tall team like the Bucks with that roster? Yep. Well, it'd be a mismatch on the other end too, Kaiser as well. I think the Knicks would be getting up and down. Brunson, Donovan Mitchell will have them in foul trouble. But yeah, long teams, definitely with that, it'll be tough. It'll be tough. Mike says, "I think we should pass." Yeah, I can understand the hesitation for Knick fans. Maybe it takes a few more days to sink in. Maybe we hear some more offers and more opportunities for everyone to feel more comfortable. This is all speculation at the moment, but we can all fairly assume that Danny Ainge is going to want the Godfather offer. Basically, Donovan Mitchell was a once in a lifetime thing for that franchise, and to see him leave on a jet to New York, he's going to want what he wants, which is picks to rebuild with, young salary, like players with upside on a lower salary. It'd definitely be the Obies, Quickleys, Cams, Grimes, Sims, stashes. Like I said, RJ, it's neither here nor there because he is an up and coming player, but does he want to pay him the extension? That's another situation. Darley says it's not like we get young picks high draft picks anyway. Right, that's a great point. Yep, you hit with that. Yeah, it's like where we are right now. Do we really finish that high up in the standings to get a good pick anyways? Yep. And our D's World of Hoops, salute, peace, prosperity to the chat. Appreciate that. And everyone out here as well, Knicks Nation as well. We can agree to disagree on certain things, but we're all family here, ready to chop this thing up, ready to see this Knicks win a championship one day, to get better. There's no, clear cut way to do that. It's just hope for the best, in my opinion. Hope that they know what they're doing. But getting a Donovan Mitchell, in my opinion, is moving us closer to where we need to be. It's not going to be perfect. We're going to have to part with assets, do all of this, hope that it works out. It's on the flip side, it's hope and wait that we can continue to build slow and draft right. That's another years and years of waiting and waiting as well. Jay Dragon says, how many other teams will be vying for his services? Yep. I'll probably say we know Toronto always like to get involved. Miami, I would say Washington, they'll probably love to pair him with Bradley Beal, reward Bradley Beal's loyalty. But the truth is they don't have the draft compensation that we have. Washington could offer them a heap of role players. They got more role players than anybody. But yet they're a team that doesn't have the young, the lower salaries and the draft picks like we do. And I think that if you're rebuilding as Utah, that's what they're gonna want. Mike says, if we're going to give up a player, give up Julius. Yep, I can definitely understand that. Geraldine, the Jazz don't want any old players as well. They'll strip us of all our youngies, and like RJ, Cam, Grimes, Obi, and picks, put Deuce in that package as well. Yep, even that Rocas stash pick as well. Stashes are useful in future trades. They don't have to pay them any salary. They're just rights to the player as well. Yep, they're rebuilding, fam. D says also not a good idea to pursue it. Would have the portion of the roster and draft capital for a guy that doesn't play D. Brunson and Mitchell defensively could be a disaster. Yep, as a starting backcourt as well. Yep, got some concerns as well. Yep. Like I said, I still feel Leon will go for it. I would still consider it heavily and do it because I feel like we're young enough, and I feel like we have young enough pieces and future picks to still, be in a desirable situation to improve the team. But yeah, the size of the backcourt would definitely be a concern. And Geraldine says, all of that for one player. Where you at, Melo? Melo's probably coming back too. He's probably coming back, Geraldine, to be a part of this thing, right? James Dolan's vision to have Melo back to win that ring again. All of that for one player. Where you at? With small guards, you speed the game up and run an up-tempo offense. Says RC Creative. Yeah. Yeah, the league's about making people adjust, right? Make them adjust to you. And it goes through phases every decade or so, When Victor Wembanyama comes in the league, the whole league's gonna have to adjust to him. Chet Holmgren, Poku, KP, these kind of dudes as well. There's a chance that the league can evolve and change with different players coming in. I'm on the mindset if you're a hooper, you just play. Like, Muggsy Bogues was in the league for how many years? If you can hoop, you can hoop. You try to figure it out. But yeah, the Knicks would have a small backcourt, but they could stack their front court to be tall and athletic to make up for it. Hopefully would keep Obi, Mitch, Hartenstein, Sims. Yeah, there'd be situations where we could, counter things and play around a little as well. Like Mike, yep, what's wrong with New Yorkers as well? New Yorkers want to win right now. I think they want to win. B says Knicks fans can't get over Melo trade. It was 12 years ago. These are completely different situations. New York has never had so many assets. Yep, that's exactly what I've been saying. Yep. Whilst I understand people's concerns, they're legit. But I'm trying to explain that the Knicks situation now is different to the Melo one. It's different to years past. The cupboards are completely full. 4 first-round picks that aren't even our first-round picks. And then we have all of ours. We could do pick swaps. We have stash options with Rocas, Sergio Yul, the rights to him in Spain, even though he'll never come to the NBA. It's still an asset for a team to have the rights to a player. The Knicks, Leon just has the best offer, I think, out there. If he really wants Donovan Mitchell, Mitchell will be a Knick. He could put whatever he wants in the table, and I think it'll still outbid. It'll still beat anybody. Mike says we was building in the right direction. This is another Melo deal again. Yeah, so we are still building. I feel there would still be flexibility with that. But yeah, we certainly wouldn't want to part with all of our young assets with that. I would rather get Melo back as a small forward, and that is saying a lot because I'm no Melo fan. I appreciate you. Melo has his warts, but he can do some things. And Mike says nothing wrong with Mitchell, but if we do though, but if we have to give up our young core to get him, we are in deep trouble. Yeah. I think it'd be a situation where our cupboards wouldn't be bare. But look, it's easy for me to sit here and say that, maybe Danny Ainge is asking for something outlandish, like I'm talking crazy. But we saw what Rudy Gobert got. It shook up the league. KD can't even get traded now because Brooklyn don't get the value that they feel they want to get as well. So all of this thing's out of whack right now. I hope Ainge just wants young players, and I hope he just wants picks as well. That would allow us to keep RJ out of this deal. And are we really willing to give up our firstborn, an arm and a leg? Question mark is to Leon. I think J Dragon. I think he He's thinking about it. Yeah, that's his legacy. CAA. Obi and Randall will be playing together a lot more this year. Yep, I hope that too, fam. Yep, they need to play together. With that, says Quiet Money. Trade Cam to Miami and to get another one for the deal. Yep, and get another one for the deal. D says, wouldn't say the Knicks are building the right direction, but this would be damaging to any forward progress that's been made. Yep. Yeah, I've been wanting the Knicks to build patiently through the draft and draft and scout young talent. Unfortunately, less than a month ago, they threw that plan out the window for now. With Brunson, they turned the 11th pick into Brunson. And with Randall still here, it looks like they want to keep him. I just don't know how they want to build this team as a winner. I just know Donovan Mitchell would get us closer, but yeah, it's no guarantee. Nothing's a guarantee in this league right now. Yeah, I hope he wouldn't get fleeced and give up too much. We have 2 future stars on the team, and we're going to trade him. And D Gon says, package RJ immediately. He can learn to shoot in Utah. He can learn to shoot in Utah. No patience there. Wants to get things done. That's, I think, what Leon wants to do. He's not married to no situation. I mean, think about it. You're a president that was signed a few years ago. You were the head of CAA with all these connections. You want on your resume, you want to be successful as a pres, right? And to say that you got the Knicks relevant again, he could say that, hey, I brought star power back to the Knicks. I brought Donovan. I brought Brunson up in here as well. I think that's what Leon's really looking for with this thing. Why else would he flip out of the 11th pick to turn that into 3 firsts that might not ever convey? I think he's gearing up for the big deal. Jazz will take all our young players and picks, says Geraldine. Yep. And Mike, we can't beat the Celtics, Bucks in the playoffs with 2 small guards. Defense wins, and we aren't good enough with that. Yep, there is less atmosphere to get in RJ's way in Utah. Yeah, exactly, Geraldine. As you guys saw this year, the playoffs, you need elite perimeter D out there at all times. Yep. Yeah, it is that kind of league. I'm not going to dispute that. Yep. Definitely want the Knicks to get back to that defensive identity where we stop teams from scoring, keep them 90 points or below. But a Brunson Spider would be a different identity. That would be trying to put up 125 points that way and try and be the former Mike D'Antoni teams of the East, I think, to get up and down. Could that be why Julius Randle is slimmed down as well, ladies and gentlemen? Julius Randle, there's a lot of speculation as to why he's slimmed down so much. Is it to not really to play the 3, but is it so that he can just get up and down more, or the Knicks can play small ball a lot more with Obi as well? Either way, I'm just surprised how invested the Knicks are still, and nothing really surprises me usually with the Knicks, but the talk of how loyal they are to Julius still. There's been no talk about no trades, nothing. He's slimming down. All the talk is among insiders that Julius is here to stay. So they're trying to give him his best chance to bounce back. And captain, what's good? It will be a terrible trade for this Knicks team. And Geraldine, we don't have anything left after the trade now. Yep. And the Knicks would give up 150 a game. RTG in the house. I don't want Donovan, at least for now. Not now. We cannot repeat then Melo scenario. We need to continue to build brick by brick as well. Yep. I definitely appreciate that. I hear that. With that said, patience goes a long way, but how long can people be patient for? Well, will you guys be okay waiting 7 more years or 9 more years for us to be, solid contending team in the East? Brick by brick, definitely. I love our assets and our young players as well. I'd love to see what they can be as a New York Knick. But I also want to see us compete and contend and be as good as we can straight away. P nice. Fournier, Obi, Cam, Deuce, and picks for Spider. Yep. Fournier, I know he's got one more year, but I don't know if Ainge is going to want him. Obi, Cam, Deuce, picks for Spider, I think could be enough, even without Fournier. But I think, yeah, for salary purposes, yeah, like you put in, yeah, for salary purposes, you may have to put up Fournier. Yeah, that's true. Utah doesn't want to be any type of good. They want the highest pick and the lowest team salary possible. Says Quiet. Yep, absolutely. Hitting net with that is Quiet money. Exactly right. You're not just moving on from Spider to try and be good again. They're trying to be as bad as possible, or get, obviously good young players, but hoping to get lucky in this draft as well. New Yorker, we should have learnt our lesson with Melo. No trading Obi, IQ, or RJ. They're our core. They're our core. Definitely rock with them. I don't think it would be no Melo trade situation again, like I explained. But New Yorker, I think the front office don't have the same attachment, I will say, than fans do to these young players that we love. I just don't think they have that same attachment to these guys. Maybe not all of them. I think there's a sentimental aspect with Obi, with Leon. There's connections, family ties, and all of that. And I salute YYC. Are you willing to give up 5 players and 5 firsts for Donovan? The Jazz got that for Rudy, and he was his Robin. You hit with that one. You hit. That's what has me scared, is what this deal will look like. But truth is, the Rudy one was just what Minnie was willing to pay. That doesn't mean what every team was willing to pay as well. I think Minnesota get pretty desperate. They get more desperate than the Knicks. But yeah, I don't know if it's 5 picks. I don't think it's going to be 5 players. I will say that it's going to be RJ and another young player in the picks, or it's going to be heaps of more young players and heaps more picks, I think, as well. And the chat's absolutely buzzing up in here as well. Okay, appreciate that. Let us know if the mic's all good. I'll just scroll down, try to catch up here. The chat's absolutely popping, as it would. Don't expect anything less with this situation right here. And let's get into this super chat from Eddie. Salute, fam. What's good? Shouts out to Eddie. And Eddie says, CT, I think if you can get it done for picks, Fournier plus Grimes, you have to. But seems like other teams will offer better talent back. And Riley lurks. Well, yeah, you absolutely have to get it done if you can for picks, Fournier, Grimes, and maybe even another throw in. There's pick swaps. There's also, like I said, there's stash pick Rocas. But yeah, it seems like there will be other teams. Do you think? I don't know how many other teams there would be, fam. I'm just not too sure at this point. But yeah, a player like Donovan's quality becomes available. I think Danny Ainge's phone is going to be running hot today. I think it's going to be running hot. Pat Riley, he's going to want to steal one under from the Knicks, exactly like you just hit on with that. On point is Eddie F. Got the chat buzzing. Appreciate it. Salute everyone out here buzzing. And Neville Humphreys in the house. What's good? Knicks fans are missing the most important part about the Brunson's deal, is that this management team gives absolutely no players to make the deal. Donovan deal would be absolutely a departure. Yep. You hit with that. You hit. Yep. Completely agree. Donovan deal would be absolutely a departure. Yep. Salute Sharp Powers in the house. What's good? I would rather go after OG Ananobi than Spider. Yep. So Sharp Powers wants to build around the defensive identity that the Knicks have. Play team ball, share the rock, stop teams from scoring as well. Completely agree. Understand, that's an identity we need to get back to. And Knicks will be 2026 NBA champs. Knicks are better equipped long term as currently constructed than they would be if they traded the Spider. Let me read that again. Knicks are better equipped long-term as currently constructed than they would be if they traded for Spider. Yeah, I respect that. I think the Knicks are building, quietly. They're building in a good way. And like I did the other night, the Knicks' young core here is underrated. I feel like some of these guys could really become solid starting players and potential all-star for some of them as well. And I would be okay if the Knicks didn't swing this trade for Mitchell as well. I'm thinking, gun to my head, if there's a choice to be made, I explore the deal and I see if it's reasonable, and then I go in. And get D Mitch, go get Spider up in here, because it's a situation where I don't think players like him become available all the time, and just like Eddie spelled out to everybody, if Pat Riley gets his hands on Donovan Mitchell, let me ask all you Knicks fans, that want to be more patient and want to build, what would you feel if Riley got Donovan Mitchell with Jimmy Buckets, Bam Adebayo and co, and they won the chip, or they won multiple chips? How would that make you feel, knowing that Spider would have been available as well? So sometimes, scared money doesn't make no money. Sometimes you do need to go all in. Now, I agree, it must be the right player to go all in. Now, it's up for debate. Is Spider Mitchell the dude that's going to get us to a chip or help us get it closer than all of that? But it's also, it's fascinating to wonder who else is going to become available. But Booker's staying, Cat's staying now, Luka's locked up, Zion's locked up. I mean, I feel like this could be Leon's main swing, maybe his last swing with all his ammo before he gets the chop. We don't know how much pressure this guy is under. He might get the chop if he doesn't do something soon with this thing, fam. Sherwin up in here, salute. Miami would not be better team with Spider. Lack of D. Okay, so you don't think Miami would even be better with Spider? And E. Gibson, Miami is in a different position organizational wise. They are already a contender. We are still trying to build a quality team. Yeah, we're trying to still build respect, to be honest. I mean, we know it's Knicks for clicks, but they still shade us, at any opportunity. The New York Knicks get laughed at, shaded at. We gave up a huge deal for Donovan, and to be like, oh, I can't believe the Knicks gave up that. But what can you do, right? It's just Knicks envy, I call it, right? They envy the fan base, the loyalty, the bright lights. See, all these players want to come to MSG and show out, but none of them got the balls to wear the Knicks jersey, to be the team, be the player to help us win, right? All they do is flirt with us. LeBron comes to town and says, oh, I love playing at MSG. Booker says, I love playing at MSG, right? They're just cowards to me, right? They love playing here twice a year, so they can feel good, pad their stats, throw up their Instagrams, party in the city for a little bit, but none of them really want to take on that challenge up in here. So I respect any player that wants to come in here in their prime, and to take on that challenge. And Daniel, salute. Stars don't automatically equal success. Our two main players being Brunson and Mitchell would be bad if there are two main players, says Daniel. Yep, completely agree with what you're saying. Understand, it's tough in this league. It's the toughest league to actually win in professional sports, is the NBA. Wait till the expansion comes as well. But we hear Adam Silver trying to do some things, introduce a mid-season tournament, switching up some of the rules with the take foul. What are you guys' thoughts about the take foul now with the penalty? What I want to hear about is the coach's challenge. The coach's challenge was a farce to me, right? You can challenge a call, but then you don't get another challenge back as well. That doesn't make no sense to me. And George says, how almost everyone older than RJ, he has just scratched the surface. Yep, so big RJ fan up in here as well. RJ bleed orange and blue, ready to take on this challenge here as well. Look, it would surprise me if RJ was still part of the deal. I'm still coming to terms with this and the news. And what's to come? It's going to be crazy to come this free agency with KD on the move, Kyrie, Ayton hasn't been moved, and now this Woj bomb that the Utah Jazz, they're simply not dismissing any calls on Mitchell now, so they're listening. And we know Leon is going to be aggressive. I feel like he is going to be aggressive with this thing. Geraldine says Brunson left the playoff team to come here. He was told that he would be the starting point guard. Now we're foaming at the mouth for Spider. What a joke of a franchise. Pulling no punches with that situation, right? It's still building. It's still adding more pieces, right? Just because you sign Brunson, it's not a finished product as well, I would say. Geraldine, chat, everyone out here, salute. A move can lead to a move, and then that move can lead to another move. You have Brunson and Spider, you have Julius Randle on a tradable contract. You might be able to dump his salary pretty easily, and then who knows, a third star might look at the Knicks like a more attractive situation and say, "Hey, I could pair up with Spider and Brunson, and Grimes and and Obi, or Quickly, and I could really do some things out here as well." So you never really know until you pull the trigger. It's a sliding doors moment, just like Quiet Money said, right? It's the quintessential um, pivotal stretch for this organization. Crossroads, he said, right? Exactly what he said, right? The crossroads up in this piece as well. But yeah, there are some very reasonable offers too. Like Eddie F says, if you can get it done, in terms of Fournier, picks, Grimes, you have to see. So I know some fans aren't for this big trade, but if you could get it done for a certain price, then let me know. Let me know what the price is all about with this situation, right? Is there a certain price? And George is on point with this. Knicks must keep Jericho Sims. He's a younger Jarrett Allen as well. Yep. Yep. Absolutely, completely agree with that. Jericho Sims, right? He's not earning anything, right? I know Danny Ainge is probably going to want him as well, just like Mozgov was a throw in the Mello deal as well. But yeah, I think Leon will have some bargaining. He's got the picks as well. Push comes to shove, they can argue, yell at each other on the phone, back and forth. But let's get to a certain deal that's good for both sides. Let's get to a deal that's good for both sides. I think, because I don't want to see Spider go to Miami again. I don't want to see them land every star that becomes available. That's just me. Um, I've come to terms with the fact that the Knicks have been saving all these picks for something, right? And to me, the writing is on the wall. I can't see that next guy coming available that they're going to spend all these picks on as well, even though I wanted the Knicks to build through the draft. King Ribby up in here, salute. What's good out here? The whole chat. E. Gibson, my biggest concern would be the backcourt D, due to the size and obviously the cost in the assets. But then New York Knicks just spent 104 mil on a 6'1" point guard. Is it wise to get another one on a max deal with 4 years left as well? Yep, absolutely valid concerns there. And Ron says, yeah, because Durant doesn't want to be a Knick, to RTG. You want to be traded again or make the Knicks' life a living hell. Yeah, I even heard he's open to going back to Golden State, which would be insane. Right, the guy has no morals. This KD up in there. Walter puts a package out here of RJ, Cam, Randall, McBride, and picks. So Walter would give up RJ, Cam, Randall, McBride, and picks. So that would get Danny Ainge's attention, fam. That would get Danny Ainge's attention. Yep, that would definitely get him on the phone. But he might be saying, yeah, and what else? Danny Ainge. Yep. New Yorker says we have D nice. We have nice D now, and great depth. Let them play. Yep. the public enemy in the house, I would maybe feel different about Spider if he wasn't representing the Mets. Yeah, that's funny. And Pudge Nice, yeah, it's looking like Brunson, Spider, RJ, Randall, Mitch. Yep. Well, yeah, if that's if they can keep RJ out the deal. Yep. Orlando, salute. What's good? This will be far worse than the Melo deal. No, I got to respectfully disagree with that. I think we have way more assets still left as well than the Melo deal, and we don't even know what the Mitchell deal would be yet. But yeah, I understand fans' trepidation. I really, really do. Um, at CT, they'll want all our young players. That's the Melo trade all over again. Look, they will want them. They may not get them. I feel like. And Wham Productions in the house. Randall is a ball stopper, isolator. He does not fit with these youngsters we have. Yep, definitely. I think Randall's game does need to adapt this season. Right, he absolutely does need to adapt up in there, especially with the point guard. And I'm confident that they're going to get things done and switch it up, like make the offense look a bit different with that. How are you guys hoping we play? I'm hoping that we play with more pace, which is why I'm happy that Randall's slimmed down up in this piece. So yeah, these are the reasons why I think the Knicks and Leon's going to go all in. It's going to be interesting few days to come. Well, look forward to continuing to chop this up. And yeah, the young core. This is the young core I'm happy with, and I'm happy to continue to see build around this thing. But this is also the reason why we were in consideration to make this blockbuster deal, because here we are. We've built ourselves up. We have these young, cheap assets now. All of these players here you see are on rookie contracts now, except for Mitchell Robinson, who just re-signed. But yeah, everyone else is good. Eddie F, raise your hand if you're buying a Mitchell jersey as soon as we get him. Yep. Let's be honest, everybody. If Donovan Mitchell gets a deal, are you going to get it? I'll top that. How many of you bought a Kemba jersey when we signed Kemba? Let's see who's really honest up in this thing. George says Sherwin, he isn't going to get the volume like the previous years. Yep. No, he doesn't. Like that's Sherwin saying, yeah, Randall will overpass. Yep. Pudge nice. Utah will allow Spider to pick the team. He did a lot for Utah. Wow. Yep. I think it's down to Miami and the Knicks. Fam, if I have to make it that decision, I think it's down to Miami, and I think it's down to the Knicks. Yep. Keeping it a buck. Hard Will in the house salute. Donovan is better right now, because if that same reason and in college RJ was better, that's proof. Donovan is better right now, because if that same reason and in college RJ was better, that's proof. Yep. Salute. Knick fan confused. When they didn't make a move, they were mad. And now we can make a move, they're mad. Absolutely on point. Yeah. I think fans are just hesitant over what the package is going to look like. Fam, I think us parting with beloved Knicks. It's like, it's like parting with beloved Knicks. You don't want to, but you want what's on the other side. And even Geraldine admitted, you got to give up, get a little, give a little to get a little up in this thing, right? George says this would be worse if it's anything close to Gobert, but with five first round picks, that's going to be tough to stomach. But Donovan Mitchell is a bigger difference maker, in my opinion, than Gobert. So what are your thoughts on those two? What it says Miami doesn't have the picks, so they are not a threat because they can't even offer salary relief. Yep, exactly what I've been saying. You're on point with that. Yep, absolutely on point with that. And Spider's contract is only 30 mil this coming year. Yep, the salary's going up and up and up. The salary cap, that is. That's what I've been saying. Yeah, with the salary cap, it's just going up and up and up, and the deal's not going to look so bad. Donovan's tied up for 4 more years, ladies and gentlemen, 4 more years of him on that salary. So we got dudes earning 60 mil, like Dame Lillard as well, right? You have Dame Lillard on 60 mil and Spider on 30, 37, right? It's reasonable, trust me. Billy Goat, Julius is one of the best passing big men, and that's why he can and will play some three. Yep, he looks slim. Yep, shouts out to him getting in the gym and getting it done with that situation. And our AB salute in the house. I'd rather keep our guys than trade for Mitchell. If a wing becomes available, then let me know. Well, yeah, we certainly need a wing. You know, if we traded everyone to get Mitchell, we would need a wing even more. Like AB saying, especially with the small backcourt, Brunson and Mitchell, 6'1", we would definitely need that wing. But we need that wing right now as well. Wing that can do it all. Yep, on point. Eddie says, yeah, Pudge makes a great point, though. Ainge has to deal with CAA too. That helps us, even though it's totally unethical. Yep, on point. Yep. And yeah, like I said, Tony Jones is plugged in. He's plugged in, is Tony Jones, and yet he knows the Knicks are the team that has the assets to make it a real convo for Mitchell. Paul Butler, Mitchell is the closest. Mitchell is the closer that the Knicks need in that fourth quarter. Yep, no lies. Absolutely on point. Completely agree. Yep. You got to make the league adjust to you sometimes as well, getting up and down. Hardwell, we still have players that stuck in position and no number one pick definitely going to hit or make that player become better than the player you already see. You can play and improve on D. Yep. Yep. Facts. I think the East is stacked. Adding Donovan helps us compete. The front office don't want to rebuild. Yep, like we've been saying. I think they want to get it done, right? Their job's on the line. They've been saving all these picks as well, for a reason. And it's good to see Julius in serious physical condition. Yep, says Andrew. Yep, absolutely. Joseph, what's good? We don't need a wing. We have Grimes, but if we do a trade for OG, yep, I'm on the OG train as well. Yep, OG Anunoby as well. Yep, facts. What's good? Yeah, everyone out here buzzing over this Donovan thing. It's going to continue to got the street buzz, get the streets buzzing, and yeah, the deal's good. I think in terms of the salary as well, it's just what Ainge is going to be willing to settle on, and then we're in biz. But yeah, expect Leon to be working these phones, the CAA connections. I feel like he's just gonna really go all in. I think this is his legacy, Knicks fans. Stay tuned for some more news coming up. Yeah, this was a quicker stream early in the day. Well, let's see what plays out. Going to wrap this thing up for now, but just for now, we'll be back soon. Keep the streets buzzing as well. Continue the convo in the comment section. We got it coming, and one way or another, it's going to be a crazy season ahead. Knicks Nation. Salute to everyone out here in the chat. Salute to the super chats, Eddie. Salute fam, everyone out here rocking as well. All the content creators, Knicks out here strong as well. Hey, before about to close up, we got another super chat come through. Knicks will be 2026 NBA champs with the $20 super chat. Salute. What's good? You got to ask a question. Would a big three of Randall, Brunson, and Spider be enough to beat Milwaukee, Boston, or Miami? Hey, salute. Throw your thoughts out there, chat. I'll give you mine. Well, you obviously got to see which other pieces would still be around, but just going off that, Randall, Brunson, and Spider, I think that could hang with Miami. Not saying they would beat them straight away, but they could hang. Boston and Miami, probably not. Probably not. But yeah, great point. Knicks 2026 NBA champs. Yep. Got everyone out here buzzing as well. But yeah, that's what you got to ask yourself as well when you go all in, right? Is it enough to get you past these teams as well? Like I said, I think we could beat Miami. I think we'd be better than that. But the point I was making earlier in the show is it will get us closer. It will get us closer to competing. It will get us closer to relevancy again, and it's a step. It could be a step to the next step, and then that step gets us to another step. Like I said, we could trade Randall later and pair another third guy with the other two. But let's shout a few other people out quickly. Eddie says maybe, but not quite. But that's why you play the games. Yep. On point again is Eddie. Yep. And D says no. That Knicks trio, D's World of Hoops salute. No Knicks. That trio nowhere near good enough to compete with those type of teams. Well, yep, the tough durability, the length of Milwaukee, and the Milwaukee and Boston as well, the wings as well. Look, I think Miami personally, we could compete with them, but yeah, I think Miami's going to be a little bit on the downside. They're aging as well. Be nice, salute. You're not getting any player cheap when it comes to Danny Ainge. Yep. So get ready to be disappointed when your favorite player on the Knicks is traded. Yep, you hit. Yep, you hit. Salute, Harlem girl in the house. What's good? Yeah, we're getting ready to wrap this thing up. Again, appreciate that super chat. Knicks will be 2026 NBA champs in just 3 years' time. That'll mean we probably do with Spider, right? To what you're saying, if we get Spider, we're 2026 NBA champs, right? Off-season buzz. Yep, let's get it out here, and we'll be back soon. Keep rocking. Be well. Look after yourself. Stay good, and let's keep rocking. Salute. Have a great day. Peace, everyone. Peace.